All right, guys, we're back again with the 2015 Prius. So we have 48,000 miles on this, almost 150,000 miles. So we are going to do an oil change and try out our the new Restore and Protect Valvoline 020. So had made the mistake on this, owned it since new, of making some 10,000 mile oil changes. It's always been on the Toyota 020. Up until recently, we've been using some Mobil 1 extended protection 020 as well. So we're going to go ahead and try the Restore and Protect and see. I know these are kind of notorious, or any Toyota engine when you're doing 10,000 mile oil changes, for getting some deposits and stuff. So we're hoping that we can clean some of this out with the Restore and Protect. So we're going to use it for the next couple oil changes. So we're going to drain it today, take a look at the oil filter, kind of see what it looks like, the color of the oil that comes out, and see as we start running the Restore and Protect through if we can get any cleaning going on. Obviously, not super scientific test, but we're going to go through and just see what it does, see if it gets some more deposits in the filter the next time we change the oil, if it starts kind of reducing some of that deposits into the oil and suspending it so we can get it out of there. So without further ado, we're going to move on. We got a couple things here. I like to use, this is a Toyota oil filter housing wrench. This one's aluminum. I don't remember who made it. It says AST. Anyways, it's a TOY 640 oil filter housing wrench, and it uses a 15/16 wrench on there to get it off. So I like this. It seems to not mess up the plastic oil filter housing on the Prius. And the cool thing is the plastic oil filter housing on the Toyotas, along with like the A25 oil filters, the new smaller filters, this works on them as well. It's the same pattern as those oil filters if you use the factory filter. We have our 14 millimeter box end for the drain pan plug. We have a replacement drain pan plug. These are $1.30. I highly suggest you go with the factory ones. You will get no leaks from there. And we're just going to use a Toyota filter. There's part number right there. And that comes with, for the Prius, comes with a little O-ring here. So our local dealer, these are $4.30 each. And that, like I said, was $1.30. So we're changing the oil for about $5.60 worth of factory parts, and then, you know, whatever your going rate is for whatever oil you choose to use. So we're going to get under here and get it going. Okay, guys, we're back at it here. So we are going to, I've showed you guys this in a few other videos, and I think it applies to this one as well. So, you know, we've got it on the Subaru, we've got it on the Honda, and then you also have it on the Toyota. So here is your standard mount location for your prop rod, or for those tall among us, you can come back to this one here, and it keeps that a little bit higher. So don't mind the nasty leaves and stuff we've got on there. We'll do spark plugs on this here soon and show you guys that. But got this open just so we can get some light down there, and we're going to go underneath and get this going. We've gotten pretty good at this car, having it 150,000 miles of doing the oil changes. So we're going to knock it out and show you what we've got. Okay, guys, so this one's pretty straightforward. It even shows you in this plastic underpan, it says for service, and it points to this little area here, and you have one little plug. It's got the notches on the side. You guys can see I just get the screwdriver under there. Here's another one. Get it under, give it a little twist, and then you can pull it the rest of the way with your fingers sometimes. If not, give it another little pull with the screwdriver. And that's actually not even the right one. So we're going to go to the next one over here. There we go. So that's the right one. And then we've got one more, and it's hard to see. So I think it's this one from where the angle that I'm at. There it is, that one. All right, so we got those three. And then I always like to pull this and give it a little bit of a bend and come up here. And if you guys can see in here, I'll get you some light so you can see what's going on in there. All right, we got our oil filter housing here. We have our pan plug here, and it's just very straightforward to get those off of there. So like I say, what I like to do, just get my 14 on here, give it a little tap, or 3. There we go. That's loose and ready to go. And we're gonna get our oil filter housing wrench. This one's a little tougher to get some leverage on it underneath the car, and just being the diameter that it is, you got to push a little bit. So we're gonna, there we go. You guys can see there, it's ready to spin. So I'm gonna go ahead and kill the light here, and we're gonna bring the pan plug, or the pan, sorry, underneath. And there we go. And if you notice, I don't know if you can see it from the angle that you're at, but our pan plug gasket's still sitting on there. So we're gonna make sure that we get that off of there. And sometimes the easy way for me, I just like to put a flathead on there and just bump it with your palm. There we go. Apparently my palm bumping on everything could use to be a little more. All right, so we're gonna let that drain, and then we will get the oil filter housing off of there also. Okay guys, so we got our pan plug gasket there. So I got a paper towel, wiped off our pan plug that we took out there, and you guys were along with me, and we made sure that we got the pan plug, the old one, off of the oil pan. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do is go ahead and start this one back in. Okay, the torque on those is, I believe it's 26 to 29 foot-pound. So I'll get the torque wrench here in a second and we'll torque that down. What I like to do is start it like that to get the oil to stop, and then kind of sneak the edge of my paper towel up behind the plug, and then in between there, hopefully, there we go. Sneak it around there and just kind of come around, wipe the oil off, make sure everything looks okay. And we're gonna tighten that up just snug for now, and then like I say, we'll torque it in a minute. We already broke loose our filter housing, so I'm gonna get it to where I can get it by hand here. And I'll probably start leaking a little bit out here in just a second because I'm not quite too hand tight on there yet. And there is a torque spec for this as well, so I'll get that and we'll show you guys that too. Probably be quicker with a ratchet and a socket, but this is the way I chose to do it right now, so bear with me for a second. All right, I think we're about there. I think we're about to be able to do this by hand. Let's see. There we go. All right, and let's see if that'll come out of there. Okay, and there is our filter media, or the element, whatever you call it. Let that drain for a second. I kind of look around from this side and just double check in there, make sure nothing looks out of the ordinary, which it doesn't. And I just kind of let it drain for a second. I'll wipe that up a little bit around there and we'll put the new filter on. All right. Okay guys, so this is what that looks like. I'm going to leave this wrench on there for a second, and then I'll take it off. Actually, you know what? I'll take it off to show you guys because it does give us the torque spec in Fig Newtons on here. So if you look really close here on the top, it gives you a couple different things on there. And let's see, it says tighten cap. It shows you the direction to spin it. And then, let's see if you can see on there. What does that say there, cameraman?
225 Newton meters.
So 25 Fig Newtons on there that we're going to tighten that to. So we'll convert that over or just use that scale on our torque wrench here in a second. But it does tell you right on there. And then when you guys get the new one, it does come with this gasket, this O-ring, sorry, not a gasket. That's right here. So I just very carefully get my screwdriver under there, just put my thumb on there and bring it off, and we'll set that one out of the way for now. And here is our new one. Comes with the filters when you buy them. From the factory anyways. I don't know if the aftermarket ones do. I'm sure they do. It seems like a common piece to replace on there. So let's see if we can get that open without it making us look like a fool. All right, so then what I like to do on these in an effort to not stretch them out too much is just kind of roll them down and not stretch it out to get it down there. So there's like the little O-ring landing there, you can see it's a little bit larger right past the threads. I just like to roll it into there, and it usually gets enough oil on it as you go, as you come down. But I like to take some of the new oil or even some of the old oil and just put it on there as well. So we'll do that and put a little bit of oil on there. Okay, and then the new filter element, that's what it looks like. Has your Toyota identification in there. Pretty straightforward. So this thing too, it has a spring. That's your pressure relief built into it. I think that's your bypass for if the filter gets clogged, so it'll push it down. So just make sure that that moves freely, and you can see that ours does. And we're down on there and we're ready to go. So we're going to go ahead and screw this back in, and we'll get everything torqued down. Okay guys, so here we are back together. We're going to start this in here by hand and just spin it until we get some resistance, and then we'll end up having to get the wrench. So I feel the resistance now, that gasket, and get our wrench back on there. This makes it a little easier to spin by hand, but you're not going to go really far by hand on there. So I'm going to move our oil out of the way, bring our light back over, and we'll tighten this just to where it's snug down, and then obviously we'll torque it with the torque wrench to the 25 Fig Newtons. All right, we're just starting to get tight there, so I'm going to back it off so we can get the accurate torque. I'm going to wipe this one more time. All right, and we are going to get the torque wrench and torque that up. Okay guys, so we are under here with the torque wrench set to 25 Fig Newtons, and you get very little room under here. Wow, let's make sure that that was, all right, so you guys saw that turn barely, and there we go. So that is 25 Fig Newtons, and I'm going to make sure we get our wrench off of here, which can be a challenge. So I'm going to see if we can find our screwdriver. Let's see if we just take a little bit of the, there we go. Okay, and then we're going to reset the torque wrench to 29 foot-pounds. It's 26 to 29 is the torque for the pan plug. So let's see, 25, 26, 27, 28, and 29. So that is a 14 millimeter on the pan plug. So I'm going to switch to my 14 millimeter here, and we're going to torque that one. Hopefully you guys can hear this. Okay guys, so let's get it up here. Let's see if we can hear this. There we go. Alrighty, and I'm going to give it one more wipe just to make sure we're not seeping from anywhere. Make sure we're good around there. Alright, and we will bring this back around here. Looks like I got a little bit of oil on there. Alright, and then we're just going to put our clips back in. So this is the bigger one, so I believe it goes here. See, I can't see this very well, so alright, and we'll just push that one in there. This is a littler one, so it kind of goes in there. And we got one more little one that goes right here, I believe. All right, and we're ready to go. So we're gonna fill it from the top and we should be good. Okay guys, so I wanted to show you this. I made this a while back. This is the capacities and stuff out of the owner's manual for the Prius. So it gives you a couple different things on there, but what we're concerned with is the engine oil drain and refill with oil filter right there. US measurement where we are is gonna be 4.4 quarts. And you can see we got some different things on there as well. But what we're concerned with is the oil filter change with the oil. So 4.4 quarts. So that's what we're gonna put in. Okay guys, so here we are. I am gonna put this, not there. Let's see if we can give you some light. I don't know what is steel under here that I can put this on easily. So I like to take this cover off. It makes it a little bit easier to get the oil in where it needs to go. So I guess we'll just put it over here on the body. Okay, so I'm gonna lift this off of here. There's one more right back here. So there we go. We'll sit that to the side. Here is our oil fill here. So I already cracked it loose. So what I like to do is just wipe around this gasket here and make sure that we're nice and clean on there. You guys can get these at the dealer. There's a little rubber gasket there. If you have leaks, you can get a new one there and put it on there to not have you leak around the oil fill. So go ahead and sit that out of the way. And what I like to do is just wipe this out and away from the hole there. Just so when I put my funnel in there, it doesn't make a bunch of junk go down into the top of the head. All right, so good enough there. Here's my little cheesy funnel that I have that I'm going to use for that. And actually, you know what? We're going to try our Lyle kit with this and see if it works. Okay, guys, we're going to give the Lyle kit that we have a shot here. It's got a little elbow on there, and this is the Toyota adapter. So we're going to screw it in there and see if we can put this in there. I'm not crazy about this either way, but we'll do it this way because I think I'll spill less than with the other funnel. So let's give it a shot. Let's see if we got a good angle. Yeah, I think so. All right. All right, we still got a ways to go. So we need to put 4.4 quarts. So this is 5 quarts. So we want to be down to 0.6 quarts. We're at about exactly 1 quart left in here. So I'm going to do my best to ballpark half of it. And a little bit more. Or a little less than half of it, I suppose. We'll go with that. And see, that's pretty levels about right there. So we'll do the rest with the dipstick. So we're going to save that. All right, see if I can get the rest of this to run out of here, which it is. And then I'm going to take my paper towel just so we don't make a mess more than we already have. And what I like to do with this funnel as I close it up, I'm not too concerned about a little tiny bit of oil left in there on the next car that I do an oil change on, even if it's not 020 or 016 or 530, which a lot of my different cars take different oils. So I like to take this off and take a little bit of paper towel Just cover that and then put this plug on there. Helps it stay on there, keeps it from leaking out in my toolbox, and we're closed up and ready to go. Let this drain for a second. All right, we'll take our adapter off. Wipe off our threads on there as best as we can. All right, and we're going to put that back on the little tray that it came with. Put our oil fill cap back on. All right, we're going to set that out of the way. Get our funnel that we didn't use that would have definitely made a mess out of the way. I'm going to snap the cover back on. You can see here there's a pin here, there's a pin here, and then the other one is hard to see.
I see it.
Oh, right there.
Yep.
Okay, so we're just going to kind of sit that on there. You can kind of feel when they're centered and just push down in those areas, and your tiny little engine cover's back on your tiny little engine. All right, we're going to start it up and see how it sounds. All right, guys, so we're going to start it up here. I'm going to turn the ignition to on. And got the ready light. I'm going to touch my foot on the gas. And that helps to start it up. If I want to keep it running, I can turn the heat to high, and that'll keep it running until the engine heats up a little bit. We're going to go ahead and back it down the ramps here. Let it run for a second. All right, we're going to put it in park. We're actually at 149,356 miles. I'm going to turn the heat off and just let it go through one cycle till the engine stops. Then I'll kill the ignition, and we'll check the oil level, look for leaks. All right, everybody, so we're going to check the oil real quick. We just got it down off the ramp, so we'll just double check and see where we're at, and then we'll keep an eye on it, obviously. So, let's see, nice clean dipstick so far. I was hoping to have something that we can reference to see if this cleans it, you know, like the dipstick or something. I guess we can shine the light into the valve cover a little bit there and see if we see anything on there. So I feel like we're right about there. So it looks like we could take a little bit more. So we'll add a tiny bit more oil to that there. But I feel like we're about right there. So, all right, and let's look inside here. See if we can see anything that's we can maybe keep track of too. Well, it's pretty clean in there, so I guess we will base it on what the oil and the filter looks like when it comes out. So to give us a baseline here for that, just a subjective comparison, we'll look at the old filter, which is here, and I don't really see a lot of grime or anything in there, and it's not any sludgy or anything like that. Obviously we have no metal particles or anything, so yeah, hoping maybe we'll see something when it comes out the next time, and it's got some more deposits or something in there that we can kind of see. Like I said, not a very precise test, but we'll get the eyeball test with it and just see what the car's doing. So all right, well, we're going to wrap this one up, and thanks for watching. That is the oil change with the Valvoline Restore and Protect on a 2015 Prius. And like I say, these are kind of known for carbon deposits on the rings, and if you change the 10,000 mile oil changes. So we had done that for a while, probably up to about 100,000 miles. We since changed our ways, and are doing oil changes every 5,000 miles on this. So we're going to see if that cleans it up. I appreciate you guys watching us. If you have any questions or your own experiences with your Prius or Lexus CT200, which has the same engine, drop them in the comments. Let us know what you think. What do you think of the Valvoline Restore and Protect? And thanks for watching.